Howdy, and welcome to Book Your Give Here. We're Travel That Gives. I'm Lulu Lima, your chief travel guru. I hope this episode of Dream Now Travel Later inspires you to travel, and I invite you to give us the opportunity to help plan your next memorable trip. So grab your popcorn and enjoy.
Thank you so much for joining us. So excited. I figured we'd talk a little bit about national parks because that's obviously your forte. And so guys, so that you guys understand where Casey and Austin Adventures comes from, they are all about doing not only national parks here in the US, but also they can do global things as well. So we're gonna kind of chat a little bit about some different opportunities in terms of, what they've got to offer. And obviously anything that I can do to help you guys make sure that you have this amazing trip when we can travel, when we no longer have stay at home, here's the opportunity. And again, I'm bringing you guys all of these different folks that I work with so you guys can hear from the experts. So with that, I am going to give the floor over to Casey, and away we go.
Awesome. Thanks, Lulu, for having me. It's really good to be here.
Yeah.
So I'm with Austin Adventures. We're going to go a little bit more into what exactly we do here shortly, but we're a tour operator. We're based in Billings, Montana, and we do tours all over the world. But yeah, I would say our specialty is tours here in the United States, soft adventure, wellness, all sorts of good stuff. We love to eat. We're big focused on food and, nice place to lay your head at night. And we like to just explore by day. So that's what we do.
And that's so awesome, right? Those are some of the amazing experiences. So Casey's given me a presentation that I'm gonna just put up now for everybody to see. So you won't see us, but you'll hear us. So give us 1 second here while we go ahead and make all of this beautifulness happen. And with that, here we go. So we're talking, talk about the family. We talked a little bit about who you are. So take it away.
Yeah. And Lulu, if you have any questions as I'm going through, please feel free to just chime in at any point. So, all right, let's start off.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So this is my family, the Austin family of Austin Adventures. Again, we're based in Billings, Montana, but we are a family-owned and operated business. I've been on board since I was about 6 years old. I'm the president of Austin Adventures now. And my mom standing next to me there is in sales. She's our head salesperson. And my dad is our founder and CEO. And he's the one who started this business back in the day when I was just a tiny little kid. And then that giant guy on the end, that's my brother. He's a couple years younger than me, and he's not involved in the day-to-day so much anymore, but he does do a lot of photography for us. He has his own photography business and takes a bunch of the amazing photos that are in our catalog that we have. So so that's the Austin family for you.
And that's awesome. And I got a chance to meet your dad and your brother. So I've had the pleasure of meeting everyone but your mom.
Perfect. You're getting close.
There you go. Almost there.
Perfect. So what do we do? I talked a little bit about this, but we run active adventures all over the world. They're considered to be luxury adventures. And this is just one cool example. This shot was in New Zealand back in January. That's, I guess, the last international trip I went on before all this crazy stuff started happening. But this is in Milford Sound. So we're always looking at cool ways to see the places that we are traveling around in, other than just behind a windshield of a bus or anything like that. So we like to get out there and explore and experience things. But, we're not too crazy. We're not skydiving. We're not doing any kind of bungee jumping or anything like that. We're just getting out there to...
Well, what if a family wanted to do something like that? Couldn't they?
Yes. I'll talk a little bit about that in a few.
Okay.
We create what are called custom adventures. And at that point, the sky is the limit. You can do whatever you want. So
awesome.
Yeah.
You talked about you were in New Zealand, and now you've got these beautiful pictures of all different places. So talk about where you guys go, not only domestically, but internationally as well.
Sure. So domestically, we are mostly on the western side of the United States. I understand that a lot of Lulu's clients come from the east or down in the south. So I think we have a really good offering for people who are wanting to get out and explore, in particular, our Western national parks. But we also do, we have partnerships all over the world. We started going international with our programs about 20 years ago and have been expanding on that ever since. So we are currently operating on all 7 continents. I would say we definitely specialize in Europe internationally, as well as South and Latin America. And we do have a really cool offering in Southeast Asia as well. And but I mean, we're everywhere. Africa is getting pretty big for us at this point, but yeah, we just do a little bit of everything everywhere. But I would say domestic travel is kind of our forte.
That's awesome. So, and talk about what you're known for.
Sure. Yeah, so I did hint at that just a little bit on the last slide, but we are known for our national park tours in the West. We don't necessarily like to get stuck into that niche, but that is, I think what we do best personally. So, and specifically family travel. That's really what we're good at. I think having grown up in a family business, we've been very family oriented ever since I was a little kid. A lot of our tours were created as, my brother and I were growing up in the business with little kids in mind. So that's, what we've gotten really good at is offering options on any kind of tour for the entire family. So things that mom and dad can do and enjoy, and things that the kids can do and enjoy, sometimes together, sometimes apart. But at the end of the day, everyone comes back together happy and ready to eat a big meal and hit the sack.
That's awesome. And so you mentioned a little bit earlier about your customizations and obviously some of your itineraries that are already done. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more on those?
Sure, yeah. So we have, I guess I only put 2 on here, but we actually have what we call 3 different buckets of travel. So we have our scheduled departures, which run pretty much weekly, especially here in the United States. We also have some weekly departures over in Europe and a handful down in South and Latin America. And basically what that means is the dates are already set, and we will book up to 12 guests on most locations, but 18 in others. Like our Yellowstone and our Alaska programs take up to 18 guests with 3 guides. And those are just programs that anyone can book into. It might be your family with 3 or 4 other families on the trip with you. And we do maintain a 6 guest to 1 guide ratio. So that's a good one in the industry, where you have plenty of people to wait on you hand and foot and make sure you're having a good time. And it offers a lot of flexibility as well. So those are our scheduled departures. As for our exclusive departures, that basically just means that your family, maybe it's 4 of you, maybe it's 10 of you, maybe it's a group of 18, you're having a family reunion or something like that. You're taking over an exclusive departure. And that means that you're just taking on one of our scheduled departures, but you're making it private just for you and the people that you know. And this has actually been a really, really popular option for Austin Adventures. And I think a lot of companies out there as of late, especially, with everything going on right now, I think people just feel more comfortable traveling with people.
Hanging out with your tribe. Listen, we all are doing that social distancing. So if you want to do a trip where you're still doing that social distancing and you know who's in your tribe, this is a great way to do it.
Exactly. And I think, even before coronavirus hit us like a brick, exclusive adventures were so popular for this upcoming year. I think it's kind of all the rage right now, and it's going to be even more popular here with everything going on. So
absolutely. And let's talk a little bit more about customizing, right? So can you customize an exclusive departure?
You certainly can. And we do customs that are totally off the wall, and then we do some that follow more of our scheduled departures. So it just kind of depends what you're into, but really the sky is the limit, and we can do these anywhere in the world. So you might be, wanting to go on our Banff and Jasper tour up in Alberta, but you don't really want to go horseback riding or rafting, but you've always wanted to go rock climbing. Or you don't want to do really any activities at all. You just want to do kind of some more sightseeing where you get out and just walk around a little bit and then get back in the van and go to the next spot. We can pretty much customize anything to your heart's desire. And we've done a lot of really neat, interesting custom programs over the years. And that's actually one of my favorite things to work on is, getting to work with our travel gurus like Lulu on customizing these programs for people. So
yeah, it's awesome. So you mentioned how you like to, stay in nice places. So talk a little bit about the type of places that you, with the tours that you organize. Where do we stay, and what kind of accommodations should my clients and followers expect?
Sure. So accommodations wise, most of our trips, if we're just talking here in the US, they start to differ internationally, but one way or another, we're always looking at what we consider to be boutique accommodations. And that usually is like a high 3-star to 4-star accommodation. Particularly in the national parks, we have a lot of really good connections with the different concessionaires and the different parks to be able to stay in park, which I think is really great, gets you close to the action. In particular, Old Faithful Inn, which is what's in this picture, is a place that we actually get to stay on our Yellowstone trip. And that's actually a pretty tough accommodation to get into if you're just booking on your own. It requires booking 1 to 2 years in advance. And, there's not a lot of tour operators that can get in there either. So we've had that relationship for 25 years now, and we're going to keep it going.
And that's awesome.
Yeah. So we try and stay in national park properties when available and when it makes sense. And if not, we, are always on the lookout for the best new properties outside of the parks, the 3 and 4-star. And, there's some really cool stuff out there these days too for customized tours, especially outside the national parks with like Airbnb type options if you're just wanting to stay in like a family cabin or something like that. Or we've done a lot of like scheduled departures that hook up with a dude ranch stay afterwards. So you go on a tour with us that's considered all inclusive for 6 days, 5 nights. And then you continue your stay, let's say in Jackson Hole, for another 6 nights at a all-inclusive dude ranch where you get to go horseback riding and exploring every day, but just stay in one place.
What an amazing 2-week adventure.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I just put together one of those for 2021 last week, and I'm super jealous.
I want to go on that. And some of these ranches have a lot of wellness that come with it and so forth. So really great opportunities where you can truly combine that soft adventure or even a little bit more of a higher end adventure and then relax on the other end of it. So you have really, really great opportunities there. So that's super awesome. So look, food, because we all love food, right? Especially me, I'm such a big foodie. There's so many different things, not just outside of the US that are gastronomically amazing, but here in our own backyard. Do you want to touch a little bit on some of that stuff?
Sure. Yeah. I would say, food is a huge part of our tours. I know with a lot of tours, you might just show up and there might be, some deli day type bread and meat options laying out on the table for lunch every day type of thing. But that's not at all what Austin Adventures does. We go above and beyond on our food. And we really leave it up to each of our guides. We give them a really good budget for shopping for the week, and they come up with these really neat meal ideas. It's almost like a competition among our guide team of who can come up with the coolest lunches for our groups. But it's always laid out in nice fashion, kind of like this picture shows, where you get lots of different options. It's often deconstructed for lunches, so we can accommodate different dietary requests and things like that. And it's hearty, so you are not going to go hungry. I can promise you that much. But
I gotta tell you, just these pictures alone look amazing. And I haven't had lunch yet, so maybe but I gotta tell you, I'm ready to dig in. I'm going, okay, where's our stop? Because I want some.
Yeah, and snacks are huge for us too. It's like, okay, you just ate, but now we're throwing a parfait your way 2 hours later, just in case you were hungry again. So
yeah, or you needed to refresh in some way somehow, right? So
exactly. And then typically dinners will be at the accommodation that you're staying at. If you're in a national park, there's not usually a lot to choose from, so it might just be in the dining room of your accommodation. Or if you're closer to the places outside the parks, they usually have a lot more options. And then we're picking some of the, really delicious restaurants in those areas where you can literally order anything off the menu. It's not limited in any way or anything like that. So
that's awesome. So obviously we talked a little bit about, the different types of experiences and things like that. Everything that you guys are offering would be very personalized. So I would essentially be working with my clients. As you guys know, I always ask you guys for a questionnaire so that I know exactly what you want so that we can create that wow factor for you, right? So once we know that experience, Casey's team and I would work together and we would have this great opportunity so that your itinerary is memorable.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yep. We love working with our travel advisor partners. And coming up with these dream adventures for people. And one thing that our company is really known for, and one thing that our guides love to go above and beyond on, is what we call our wow factor. And that's just keeping an eye out for any opportunities that we can for setting up these really special experiences that people remember. And it's so funny because I talk to guests now who've traveled with us in the past, and I've guided many times myself. And I'll travel with repeat clients as well. And on one trip, they'll be like, remember that time we had those apples with the caramel dip looking out over that one hot spring? And it was Grand Prismatic Hot Spring, which is like the most famous hot spring in the world, but they don't really remember the exact hot spring name, but they remember the feeling of whatever that wow was that we came up with while they were looking at something epic. So this is what vacations are made of, is these really, really cool memories. And these are just a few kind of fun ones that I put pictures of on this page. That one in the bottom right is one of my favorites. It's what's called a trust walk. And you just put your hands on the shoulders of the person in front of you. You all close your eyes. Your guide takes you to an epic lookout somewhere. And then you all open your eyes at the same time and you're all looking at this amazing lookout in front of you that you've never seen before. And that is what a wow is, right?
Yeah, I would certainly say so, because that would wow me. So awesome. So obviously our whole process of all of these different webinars for you guys at home is obviously to dream now. We'll travel later, when COVID-19 allows us to really get to that point. And Casey has really been amazing in terms of helping set up today's webinar and really just kind of giving us that wow factor. So where all of us can go, and we can go hiking. Where was this picture taken?
This is in the Narrows in Zion National Park.
Look at that. And a lot of the stuff that they're helping us do, we don't need a passport for. So I'm always about have passport, will travel. And yes, that's great. But now that we're doing, this kind of lockdown, some borders are closed and things like that, while we have the ability to kind of just be on our own, here's a great opportunity to explore our backyard as well.
Yeah, that's great. And I think too that, even right now, we have, a lot of people that are really nervous to travel internationally, but domestic, it seems, is going to be what bounces back fastest, I think. And so a lot of people are going to be wanting to kind of stay in their own backyard until they're feeling a little bit more comfortable traveling internationally again, which, that's where we come in. Right. And Lulu and everything. And so we are, in the process right now of actually planning out trips for later 2021 or 2020 and 2021. So people are maybe not traveling right now, but they are planning.
When are you seeing later for 2020? Are you looking at September onward? Are you looking earlier? Where are you guys starting?
that's a great question. And I think it's every tour operator is a little bit different on their comfort level right now. And of course, like we talked a little bit about before this, you don't have a crystal ball, so no one knows what's going to happen right now. But we're kind of going off of August as our magical travel date when everything will be fairly okay for travel here in the US, we're hoping. So that's what we're working with right now is August, and a lot of like, especially down in the Southwest, like September and October bookings, and then even more people just planning for 2021 right now. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the beautiful things is that the parks, while they're different in winter, can they have a different feel, right? Not everything is completely closed down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. My favorite place ever is Yellowstone in the winter. It is so cool. And about 1% of the visitors visit from the months of December through March. You know, the rest of them are visiting in the summertime. It's a great time to go.
Yeah. So guys, keep that in mind as well, that if you're starting to get that cabin fever and we want something to look forward to, we can plan things for the winter months as well. So that way, and you'll have less people. So the social distancing part of things and everything else certainly is available to you. So with that, everything goes through me, as you all know. So I reach out to Casey and her team, and we make this amazing adventure for you guys. And so this is truly I keep saying amazing, but it's a wanderlust, because for me, I've always wanted to do all of these kind of backyard national park things, and even in different countries, I always try to do them. So here's a great soft adventure, or if you want to do really high adventure, they'll cater it for you. So so I'm going to switch over the screen real quick here so that we can go back on. And awesome. Oh my God. So Casey, thank you so much for joining us, for telling us all the beautiful things about Austin Adventures, having this great chat with me. And, if there's anybody out there who's ready to rock and roll, we're here to help take your questions. So make sure you reach out as you're ready, and away we go.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
We'd love to have you. And please, reach out to Lulu with any questions you might have. And, we're only a phone call away from her. So it's pretty easy to get whatever you want set up for later in 2020 or next year, if that's where you're looking towards at this point in time. So
that's super awesome. Casey, again, thank you so much. This has been wonderful. And I will see you guys another time.
Awesome. Thanks, Lulu. Bye, everyone.
Bye.